All right, let's kick things off here at Tips Moto with another deep dive. Today we're focusing on Sunday's match, Tottenham versus Liverpool.
A huge one.
Yeah, a real cracker. We've got all the stats and trends, and like always, we've been hard at work here at Tips Moto to bring you the most in-depth preview we can.
And it's a clash of styles, right? Tottenham, they're fighting for that Champions League spot.
They really are.
And then you have Liverpool at the top looking to really cement that dominance, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And both teams, both fresh off some really dramatic EFL Cup wins. But the thing is, their form going into this match is telling a different story.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster for Tottenham lately, hasn't it? I mean, think about that EFL Cup match, beating Man United 4-3. That was thrilling.
Oh, absolutely.
And then, that crazy first half against Southampton, scoring 5 goals before the break.
I mean, they can be electric, but they're still mid-table.
Yeah, and that's a long way from where they want to be.
It really is. And, this match against Liverpool, well, it could be a real turning point for them. I mean, do they have what it takes to go up against those top teams consistently? Looking at their recent form, LW, DLLW in the Premier League,
Right.
and DLL, DWW in all competitions, it shows you they have the potential, the brilliance is there,
They can do it, yeah.
but also some inconsistency creeping in there.
Makes it tough to predict.
Mm.
So let's shift gears and focus on Liverpool. They're sitting pretty at the top of the tables.
Yeah.
They had a hard-fought win against Southampton in the EFL Cup, which, by the way, extended their unbeaten run to 20 games.
It's incredible.
It really is. How do they do it? What's the secret to that consistency?
I think a big part of it is mentality, They just find ways to win, even when things aren't going their way. Remember that red card against Fulham, Andy Robertson sent off?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And they still managed to pull off the win. That kind of resilience, that's the hallmark of a champion. And of course, we have to talk about their form, WWWWDD in the Premier League. And in all competitions, it's WWDWDW. It paints a clear picture, doesn't it? Strength and consistency.
They're the team to beat right now.
Yeah.
And historically, they've had the upper hand against Tottenham.
For sure.
I mean, in their last 23 league matches, they've only lost twice to Spurs. That's got to be playing on Tottenham's minds, right?
It's definitely a factor, but we can't just look at the past.
Yeah, of course not.
Remember, Tottenham did win against them last season.
Oh, that's right.
So while history might favor Liverpool, it's not a guaranteed win. It's going to be an exciting match, that's for sure.
Always a good one when these two teams meet. All right, before we jump into potential lineups, let's take a look at those injuries and suspensions, because this is where that Tips Moto deep dive really comes in handy.
Absolutely. Let's start with Tottenham. They've got a lengthy injury list, especially in defense. Ben Davies is out. Christian Romero, Mickey van de Ven, and Guglielmo Vicario are all out. On top of that, Rodrigo Bentancur is suspended. They're also missing Wilson Odobert, Richarlison, and Mikey Moore. It's a real defensive headache for Tottenham. You have to wonder, how is this makeshift defense going to cope with Liverpool's relentless attack?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question. Is there any good news for Tottenham fans?
Well, there might be a silver lining. Timo Werner could be back from illness.
Okay.
And Destiny Udogie is expected to recover in time for the match. But still, it's a weakened defense.
All right, what about Liverpool's side? Any injury news we need to be aware of?
The good news is they have relatively few absentees. Connor Bradley and Ibrahima Konate are both out.
Right.
But Andrew Robertson is back from suspension.
Not a boost for them.
And we can't forget about Kostas Tsimikas. He's recovered from that ankle injury, so he could be challenging Robertson for that left-back position.
Oh, interesting.
That depth is a real advantage for Liverpool, especially in such a demanding season.
All right, let's get to what everyone's waiting for. The predicted starting lineups. We here at Tips Moto have been analyzing all the information, and we've got our predictions ready.
Always eager to hear what Tips Moto's supercomputer has come up with.
So for Tottenham, we're predicting Forster in goal, Porro, Gray, Dragusin, and Udogie forming the back line, Sarr and Bazuma in midfield, and then Kulusevski, Madison, Son, and Solanke leading the attack.
Interesting lineup. It'll be interesting to see how they handle that pressure from Liverpool's attack, especially with that patched-up defense.
Definitely something to watch.
Oh.
All right, and for Liverpool, we're predicting Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Gomez, Van Dijk, and Tsimikas at the back, McAllister and Gravenberch controlling that midfield, and then the formidable trio of Salah, Szoboszlai, and Diaz, with Jota as the striker.
A lineup full of talent and experience. And of course, all eyes will be on Mo Salah.
Right. He could make history this weekend. He could become the first player to hit double figures for both goals and assists before Christmas in a single Premier League season.
It would be incredible. And his performance this weekend will undoubtedly be a key factor in this match.
Okay, so considering all this, what's the tips Moto prediction for this massive match?
After all our analysis, we're predicting Tottenham Hotspur 1, Liverpool 3.
A decisive prediction. Walk us through your reasoning here.
Well, Tottenham's recent home games, they have seen goals from both sides.
Yeah, they have.
However, Liverpool's squad depth, coupled with that extra day of rest, that gives them a real edge. And then you have the Mo Salah factor. We believe he's primed for a big game.
So you're saying Liverpool are the clear favorites going into this match?
Based on our analysis, yes. We're pretty confident that Liverpool will be at the top of the table come Christmas.
That's a bold statement, but hey, that's what we do here at Tips Moto. Bold insights, data-driven predictions, and we're giving you, our listeners, the information you need to stay ahead of the game. We'll be back in just a moment to break down the key player matchups that could decide this match, so don't go anywhere.
And we're back with the Tips Moto Deep Dive, folks. Still breaking down that huge match on Sunday, Tottenham versus Liverpool. It's going to be a good one.
You're listening to the Tips Moto Deep Dive. And in this part, we're going to focus on those key player matchups.
Yeah.
The ones that could decide the outcome. You know, those individual battles that happen within the bigger game.
Exactly. And with all those injuries Tottenham's dealing with, those individual matchups are going to be even more important, right?
Absolutely.
So let's start in the midfield. We've got a really interesting clash there. Yves Bissouma for Tottenham going up against Liverpool's Ryan Gravenberch.
Yeah, Bizouma's been a real workhorse for Tottenham. Breaking up plays, winning tackles, really setting the pace. But he's going to have his work cut out for him with Gravenberch. What makes this matchup so interesting from a Tips Moto perspective?
Oh, Gravenberch, he's a special player. That passing range of his, exceptional. He can unlock defenses, and he's so smooth on the ball. But it's not just the passing. He's strong, athletic, and he really reads the game well.
Yeah.
So if Bizuma can disrupt him, throw him off his game, that could really limit Liverpool's build-up play. But it's a tall order.
It's like a chess match in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Each player trying to outsmart the other. Okay, so let's move over to the flanks. Another exciting matchup brewing. Son Heung-min, Tottenham's captain, up against Liverpool's Cody Gakpo.
Son is a proven threat, no doubt about it. The pace, the skill, the finishing. He can be a nightmare for defenders. I mean, there's a reason he's Tottenham's all-time leading scorer in the Premier League.
Right, he's a game changer. But what about Gakpo? How do our analysts at Tips Moto see him matching up against Son?
Well, Gakpo, he's a young player, but he's got so much potential. He's fast, he's got a powerful shot, and he's not afraid to take on defenders. He's still developing, but this could be the match where he really makes a statement.
I think we're all expecting some fireworks on that side of the pitch.
Definitely.
And speaking of fireworks, we can't forget the main event. Mo Salah going up against Tottenham's defense, which, let's be honest, is a bit makeshift right now.
This matchup right here, this could decide the entire game. Salah is just unstoppable on another level right now. He's about to break records. He wants those goals, and he seems to love scoring against Tottenham.
I mean, he's already scored 7 goals against them in the Premier League. So what does our Tips Moto analysis tell us about how this matchup might play out?
Tottenham's defense. They're going to have to be so disciplined, so organized. They can't afford to give Salah even an inch of space. Double teaming, anticipating his runs. They're going to have to throw themselves in front of him. It's a huge ask, but not impossible.
It could be fascinating to watch their strategy. So these individual battles, they can really swing things one way or the other, but tactics also play a huge role. What can we expect from both sides, tactically speaking?
Oh, this will be interesting. Tactically, we've got two very different styles clashing. Tottenham, under Postecoglou, they play this high-pressing, attacking brand of football. They're not afraid of anyone, going head-to-head, scoring goals. But that aggressive style, it can leave them exposed at the back.
Especially against a team like Liverpool, who are so good at exploiting space. They're like sharks, They smell that weakness and they go for it.
Exactly. Liverpool, under Klopp, they've really perfected that high-intensity, heavy metal football, pressuring relentlessly, fast transitions, attack, attack, attack. They'll be looking to shut down Tottenham's build-up play, win the ball high up the pitch, and just cause chaos in that final third.
Sounds exciting. So Tottenham, they want to impose their attacking style, and Liverpool, they'll be trying to disrupt and punish them for it. But there's another thing we need to consider, right? Squad depth.
Oh, yeah, squad depth. That's where Liverpool have a big advantage. I mean, they've got so much talent on that bench. They can rotate players without losing any quality.
Yeah.
So they can keep up that intense pressing game for the whole match, even when fatigue starts to set in.
And that's huge, especially against the Tottenham team with so many players out injured. Liverpool can bring on fresh legs, change the game in an instant. Tottenham, they're going to need their starting 11 to really go the distance.
And we've seen it time and time again. It's those impact players coming off the bench. They can really make all the difference in a tight game.
All right. So we've covered those key matchups, talked about the tactics we might see, and looked at that all-important squad depth. Everything's pointing to a thrilling game at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But now, for what you've all been waiting for, the Tips Moto predictions and those betting tips. We'll be right back to break all that down. Stay with us. We're back for the final part of the Tips Moto Deep Dive. We've been talking all about Tottenham versus Liverpool on Sunday. We've looked at the form, those potential lineups, talked about the injuries, even dug into the tactics we might see. And now it's time for what you've all been waiting for, the Tips Moto predictions. Plus, we've got some expert betting tips to help you make the most of this match.
That's right. We're all about giving you that extra edge here at Tips Moto. But remember, folks, betting always has risks. So please, gamble responsibly.
Absolutely. Enjoy the match. Don't stress about it. So, quick recap. Our prediction is Liverpool to win, 3-1 against Tottenham. Bold, I know, but we believe in it.
We do. We've analyzed everything, and Liverpool just has the advantage right now. They're playing well, their squad is so deep, and that attack is something else. Then you have Tottenham. Those injuries are a real problem, and they've been conceding goals at home.
It's a tough one for Tottenham, that's for sure. But as we always say, anything can happen in football.
That's the beauty of it. But based on our analysis, Liverpool winning just seems the most likely outcome.
So let's talk betting tips. For those who are feeling confident about a Liverpool win, what would you suggest?
Well, the simplest bet is just away win. The odds might not be huge, but it's a solid bet if you believe in our prediction.
Makes sense. Now, what about for those who like a bit more risk? A chance to win bigger.
You want those big payouts. I'd say look at over 2.5 goals. Both teams have been scoring a lot lately, and the way they play, we could see a lot of goals.
That's always fun to watch.
Uh-uh.
Any other options our listeners should consider?
If you're feeling really brave, you could try a correct score bet of 1-3 for Liverpool. Could win you a lot, but it's definitely risky.
High risk, high reward. But always remember, folks, do your research, know your limits, bet responsibly. Most importantly, enjoy the match. This is going to be a clash of the titans, a battle for the top of the table. It's why we love football.
Couldn't agree more. The passion, the drama, you never know what's going to happen. And Tips Moto is here to guide you through it all.
Exactly. For all the latest betting tips, the analysis, the predictions to give you that edge, make sure you're following Tips Moto on all our platforms. We're on Facebook, X, Instagram, and WhatsApp.
We're here to help you stay ahead of the game. Whether you're a seasoned bettor or just a passionate fan, we've got something for everyone.
So that's it for this Tips Moto Deep Dive. We've given you everything you need to enjoy this Sunday's match between Tottenham and Liverpool.
The insights, the predictions, the betting tips, it's all there. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the beautiful game.
A huge thank you to all our listeners for joining us. Hope you found it useful, entertaining, and maybe even helped you win a few bets.
Until next time, good luck with your bets and may the best team win.